Hey, what's up, guys? We are live. This is the Night Shift community focused live stream. I'm going to be doing this every Wednesday now, and these are totally focused on getting to know you guys better, sharing your creative work, and kind of like just really like kind of shining the light back on all the creativity within the Night Shift community, which is like actually something that runs insanely deep. I realize I'm realizing on this first one that there's a phenomenon of really talented people that are also pretty introverted and shy. So not everyone is immediately like, oh, I'm happy to jump live on the internet and talk about this stuff. But I do hope that people over time will kind of see other people sharing their stuff and their recent work and like talking about it, and maybe get over that hurdle and be willing to jump on and talk, because we'd all love to to meet you and get to know you better. Let me just check. This was fairly last minute put together, so I don't know. This might be a little bit shorter just because there wasn't like a lot of time to get the word out. But I do want to check my email real quick just because I want to see if anyone sent in anything that they wanted to share on the stream. But I'm actually going to open up the YouTube window too, because I'm still kind of learning how to use this streaming situation. But I did realize that last time I wasn't able to see everything in chat, and I do think if I go on to YouTube on my computer, I can see the full chat, which is good. They wanted to share. Yep, perfect. Let me just kill that part of it. Can someone type something in the chat really quick just so I can see if it's updating on here, even if I pause the video? Anything in the chat will help. Let's see. Also, hello, Gabe, the band name, Eduardo, Kendry, Nikanax. Hey, okay, cool. Yeah, it's working great. Perfect. Yeah, so I actually want to. Lasagna, perfect. Hey, Penguin. Glad you guys are here. I'm just going to give it another like 2 minutes or so for people to be able to pop in, for the notifications to go out. I'm not really, honestly, like, I'm not too concerned about like number of people all the time. It's like, it's going to be more about like the consistency of like, we're going to do this every week, and they'll all be up for people to watch. And yeah, and the other thing I want to say too with the community live stream stuff, like, you'll kind of get it over time, but people can come on and share what they did this week and what they've been working on with creativity and stuff like that. And then, but it's not a one-time thing. You can come back and show what you worked on next week, we'll just kind of spread the love around a bit on that. So, but yeah, and that's kind of the idea. This is like more of an ongoing thing. It'll be cool to see people evolve over years, So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Let me just, I really need to like read the manual for this streaming software, find like the guide, because I feel like there's probably some pretty cool shit about it that I just have no idea about. But right now I know the basics, and I'm gonna check one more time, see if anyone sent in anything new. I gotta check the Discord too. I kind of just put this out last minute. Oh, one other thing for people on up, I'll say this a couple times. If you can, in the chat, if you are connected to the beacon, if you can just drop your night shift name, your alias on the beacon in the chat. If you're connected to it, you'll know what that means because you had to pick one. There is a reason for it. I'm gonna start keeping track of it a little bit, but it's sort of, I want to keep track of who kind of comes to these things, and there will be like some cool shit that happens with that in the future. So yeah, Gabe's got I feel like the band name just like gets it. He's got the whole signal strength, the this slot figured out and everything. So I'm still working on. I've been learning Python to like pull the whole beacon thing together. But actually, like my friend Emma is a Python programmer as well, and I'm hoping she's going to come on and kind of help bring it together. But that thing will actually be functional pretty soon. Okay, cool. So yeah, for one more time for people that just jumped in, this stream it's the community stream. I'm gonna be doing it once a week on Wednesday. It's not gonna be the only stream. Ultimately, I'm gonna be adding a stream on Monday and Friday as well, all kind of with different focuses. But the Wednesday streams are really all about you guys. And for the brave souls among us, you can send me in your creative work that you've been working on, and I want to share it on the stream. And I want to, and where we can bring you on, you can call in and we can talk about your work and your creativity. And I want to kind of hear how your mind works on this stuff. So, yeah, Caitlin's asking, is signal strength a thing? Signal strength is fully a thing. And yeah, it's everybody's at maximum. Anyone that's connected to the beacon is at maximum right now because the system is not functioning yet. But once it's functioning a little bit, you'll kind of see, like, I mean, hopefully, I mean, honestly, you guys will probably remain at maximum because you're the shit and you'll stay with me. But some people's signal strength might fall off over time. We'll see. I don't know. I hope it doesn't. I hope everybody stays at maximum forever. Hey, Samantha. Okay, cool. So yeah, but anyway, these streams, it's all about your work. And actually, Gabe, the band name, was kind and brave, bold enough to send me some of his stuff this morning. So I'm going to play a new track that Gabe, the band name, is working on, and then Gabe, if you can call in. I love it. Yeah, if your signal strength dies in night shift, you die in real life. I like that. Yeah, adding to the mythology already. Oh, and just for anyone who's like paying attention to the more of the who's kind of more inside the story, we are streaming from the meta layer right now, so this is just cold hard reality. If that doesn't mean anything to you, then sometime go to nightshift.medium.com and you can read the intro to layers. But you can also, if you're part of the Patreon, you can also access it there. All the writing also goes to Patreon as well. And yeah, right off the bat, I do want to also just thank you guys for being here. Thank everyone in the Discord, and thank you to the Patreon subscribers, because yeah, you guys are my real core people that I really like. So let's go. Okay, so Gabe, with your blessing, I am going to play this track, and then we are going to, and then if you can call in, let's talk about it. And I'm really excited about this. I've been like thinking about this for a while. So all right. So I'm gonna play it as is. It says FAFY, and I don't know what that means yet, but we can talk about that. All right, so here it is. This is from the band name in the chat. This is from the Night Shift community. Like, yeah, this is kind of historical right here. That's insane. That was so good. Yeah, I'm gonna open up the call thing for Gabe specifically, and yeah, as I said, if anyone wants to listen without it like going through a speaker to a mic, yeah, that's kind of like a limitation of this thing. But all right, so I'm opening that up, and Gabe, if you can call in. Actually, let me see if I can. Let's see. Maybe I can just invite you. Let me try this. I'm gonna go invite guest. Is that gonna work? No. No, it's not gonna work. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, opening that up. Gabe, if you can call in. Just waiting for this. We're gonna get Gabe on here right now, hopefully. Come on, Rodeo, don't let me down.
Hello?
Hey, this is Gabe?
Hey, how are you doing?
Man, this is fantastic. Good to finally
Thank you.
actually like talk in real time like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excited.
Thank you for sharing that. This for anyone in the chat. This is the band name in the chat. Gabe. He makes incredible music as we just heard, and not only that, was also like one of the people who has dived in headfirst on things like the haiku game the most. So I'm yeah, it's really sick to have him on here. So yeah, thank you for jumping on. Thanks for being willing to
My
share
pleasure.
the music too.
My pleasure. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
So this is a work in
Uh,
progress, right? Like you're saying in the chat you're going to be adding vocals to it soon.
yes, I've had like a vague idea of the lyrics for a while because I actually made this song like right after I watched Interstellar, and I was just like, I want to make a song that feels like space, which is a weird description, but that's kind of how I came up with this. And so then the lyrics, the FA FY stands for float away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And its lyrics are going to be, I plan them being about kind of like, drifting away from someone or falling out of love, but like using the analogy of like just like unescapably floating away in space.
I love that. That's you're a man after my own heart, very much with this stuff. That's like I feel that too. I really feel the drifting space quality in the kind of in the synths, like the sort of ebbing, flowing synths, and like the slowed down, like stretched out time feeling of it. But also just
Yeah,
the is that like a NASA sample or something in the beginning? It had like a real like astronaut talking kind of vibe.
it is. I don't remember. I think it was from one of the Apollo missions, but I can't remember which one. But
Cool.
yeah, I just sampled off YouTube.
I love that. Yeah, that's actually I did a similar thing at the beginning of on a ladder leading nowhere. Whatever the did I just forget the name of my own song? Oh my god. You know you hopefully you know what song I'm talking about. Holy shit.
I don't know if I do actually.
Okay, yeah, it's one it's on Sinking Island, I think. No, it's on Loners. God. My brain is rotting. So I've been trying to not drink caffeine this week, and I just saw the result of it right now. But yeah, like
Yeah,
it started the song off with like kind of like a little bit of it's just like it was like a really I think I got maybe off like archive.org or something, like a little bit of like someone talking in space for a second, because it was supposed that song is like climbing an infinitely tall ladder into space and then falling back down to earth basically. But it really does a lot having something like that up front. I don't know, like the tone of something like an astronaut talking, it does like set up your brain to like receive it. It's weird.
yeah. I'm like obsessed with doing that in like so many of my songs. I have another one called Upside Down Rain Part 2 that I use a Jack Stabber sample, which I can't probably use in the actual song.
Yeah.
But it's that one from I don't know. It's a pretty popular one of his little animations. It was I remember how it goes. Like it's raining. Why is it still raining? I did what I was supposed to. It's not fair.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of exactly what the entire rest of the song is about.
Wow. I like that. That's a really good. It's just like a good like lyrical concept in general too.
Yeah.
That's so yeah, I mean I'm struck by a few things with the track. Like I really like the sense of space that you bring. It takes like a lot of restraint to kind of
Mhm.
leave that much space in because I think like it's really easy to go into a like a state where it's like, oh, is it enough? Is it enough? Is it enough? But like I feel like you really confidently with this track leave the space open. Is that something that you consciously do?
Yeah. I mean, for the chorus, or at least like the drop, I feel like I kind of went crazy. But for all the verses, it is really just a piano
Yeah.
and the hats and claps,
Hmm.
kicks. So yeah, for that I did try to just leave it empty because, like you kind of described, I like space is empty. I wanted to feel empty until the drop,
Hmm.
almost kind of hopeless, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's like that drifting. I think it's really important to like the effect that you're trying to and succeeding at achieving of that like drifting in space quality. It's like there needs to be emptiness, or it wouldn't feel like that.
Yeah.
I really like the bass patch that you use, even on like I know I'm listening on laptop speakers in here, and like granted it's a more recent laptop, so they it actually still sounds pretty full, but that bass is really nice. Like the texture on the top of it is just I mean really like the textural work in general is just really really good on this. Like Caitlin was pointing out the sample as well. Like is just really striking.
Thank you. Yeah, the bass. I'm I'm a big 21 Pilots fan, so
Mm-hmm.
I in a lot of my songs I use like those really like kind of gritty respaces as much as possible. I just
Yeah.
love the sound of them.
Yeah. Well, it's really well done one too. Like I feel like I mean it's I was really struck like 'cause you sent me some of your music recently, and it was just like immediately like the textural side of it is so on point for my taste, and like
Yeah.
it's cool to it's just cool to realize like oh shit like you're like deep in that was like I think it was you sent me like maybe 15 tracks at this point something like that and
Um. Yeah. Let me. I don't
between
know. Maybe
between
like
the two
10.
folders yeah.
The second folder has a lot of the ones from the first one.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That just came through, so I just went straight to the one that you highlighted. But yeah, do you? What's your process like? What do you start with usually? Do you have like an effect in mind that you want to achieve with the piece, or like do you just kind of get your hands dirty?
I feel like for a lot of them, this one included, I just take a lot of inspiration from like a certain landscape.
Mhm.
So like I have several songs that kind of have a lot of rain sound effects, and I try to kind of build around that. Or I have one that has kind of a crackling fire, and this one I kind of went for space. I don't know. I usually just kind of think of like a setting and then build the song around that setting.
I love that.
Is how I start it.
Yeah. Do you ever like put on like a visual reference of that space, or you just
Uh,
hold it in your head?
sometimes I every sometimes I've done this for I did this for it's in the folder I sent you. It's called just funk thing. I did a mid journey render and then based the song around kind of that image.
Cool. He's like
Yeah.
that no that's a cool way to like interact with AI. I feel like obviously the AI thing is very controversial in a lot of ways, and I
Yeah.
understand why. But like it is the as a sort of like random dice roll input into your actual human creativity. That's a pretty cool way to use it. I feel like.
Yeah. For a lot of my songs I think you can't really understand what I was going for without looking at an image I have associated with it. Because even for the ones that I didn't have an image going into it, I'll find one afterwards and I'll be like, this visually represents how I was trying to make this feel.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. that combination of like it's context matters, and music
Hmm.
is so weird because it's the way it moves through the world. It's so the context that it's heard in, we don't control it usually. It's like some people might be driving and they're seeing the backs of cars in front of them, or some people are listening in headphones with their eyes closed. Other people, it's like on in the background of a restaurant, and it's strange to me to be it makes it really attractive to me when I think about like the I get jealous of people that do more like scoring kind of work because the visual context and
Yeah.
you kind of know what's going to happen with it in that way. But I just think those are like music thrives with context a lot. I
Yeah.
every time there's like a little piano piece from a movie that is like really popular, it's like if that piano piece just came out, no one would even know about it. But it's because of the feeling, the context,
Yeah.
then I guess.
Yeah. There are a lot of. I'm a big fan of like Hans Zimmer and all this stuff. There's definitely a lot of visual aspects to his music
Mhm.
that just take it to the next level.
How did you get into this stuff? How did you get into making music? What was like your entry point?
Um, my entry point, it was Alan Walker. I was a huge, huge Alan Walker fan,
Cool.
and I was just obsessed with all of his no copyright sounds works.
Mhm.
And I just looked up what DAW he used. He used FL Studio. I bought it. Got my birthday like a month later, and I've just been experimenting. I still don't really, I don't really have any official kind of learning on it at all.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of stuff I'm trying to figure out. I don't really know much music theory. I just kind of have gotten to a point where I can. I don't know a lot of music theory, but I know enough to like build chords and stuff, and I can just build around that pretty well usually.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically similar to me too. I mean, I've like picked up theory over time, and I think like that just kind of happens naturally, but like it almost factors, it almost doesn't factor in at all to how I actually make music. It's
Yeah,
the closer you can tie into your instinct, the better. And I do think if people can hear music and enjoy music and care about it and absorb it, you kind of just go like, that's it, that's not it, and you keep like changing stuff until it's like that's it. I don't need to
yeah,
know what like some you know classical like approach would be telling me, well, this is the resolution and this, it's like, and because also all those rules, those same people will tell you they're meant to be broken, and the most interesting pieces usually do bend,
yeah.
break the rules, and they're intuitive.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I I feel like in this um probably probably just the last maybe since October, I've really kind of swapped from just like uh, having to like really not try, but like be like looking stuff up, trying to figure out certain effects and whatever, like doing things by just like kind of reading it off or watching tutorials. And so now I'm just kind of it's just kind of coming to me, and I'm just putting it on FL Studio, and it's turning out pretty well.
Yeah. And also, yeah, like I mean, when that arpeggio comes in partway through the song, I was like, motherfucker, you really know what you're doing. Like this is really, it's just like the in terms of creating like a ride like that, even without a vocal. I'll be really interested to hear this one with the vocal because it's really enjoyable without it even already. And like, but just in terms of creating like a really fluid ride where the details of like the way that like some of the samples are swelling in right when they need to and everything, it's all very expertly done right out of the gate. So yeah, I'm really stoked to hear where this track goes. Um,
Me
are you
too.
and you're singing? You do the vocals?
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
trying.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
terrified of.
Wait, why are you terrified?
I just so everyone has told me, like literally everyone, and this isn't me bragging. This is just everyone tells me I'm an amazing singer, and
Okay.
I've gotten singing lessons for a while. I'd say I'm pretty good, but when I record it, I just feel like it's just not there. I
Mhm.
don't know. It just never sounds. how I want it to sound, even though I know it's good. I guess that's just because my voice sounds different in my head than it does when I record it.
Yeah.
It just keeps on making me procrastinate trying to get it exactly a specific way when it's probably just fine how it is.
Yeah, that is a very real effect. I it's I used to experience that a lot, and it was only through like recording my voice so much and hearing it back so much that I started associating the sound of my voice recorded with what my voice actually sounds like, rather than like what I'm hearing right now, even while I'm talking. It's vibrating your bones from the inside, and it's all warm and nice and three dimensional, and it just doesn't. It's just different when it comes out of like speakers
Yeah,
and through a microphone and through air. So yeah, I feel like that. I mean, everything I've heard with your voice is already like great. You should just. I think like it's the more you can. It's just good to just, even though you feel like that, just keep doing it anyway. You know, and like pretty
yeah.
soon you won't feel like that
About
anymore.
a month, yeah, about a month or two ago, I started just recording me singing just like 30 seconds of a song and just posting it,
Hmm.
and that's helped a good bit, I think, because
Yeah,
I get pretty sick. So
yeah,
I think I'm ready to record vocals. I just gotta write them, but I think for this song, I have a decent idea.
good. Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I almost feel like you can't go wrong with this one at this point. It's like the vibe is just so already there, and the concept is so closely tied to the vibe that the music puts off that I feel like it's very clear you're going to stick the landing on it. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Thank you for sharing this one too. I can't wait to see where it goes, and like even and love to have you come back on in weeks to come, and like let's hear the updates and stuff as you're working on stuff.
All right, I'd love to.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Um, let me see really quick here. If you want to hang for just 1 second, I'm just seeing if I don't know if okay. I think this one might just be me and you because I am looking for more stuff coming in for this stream, and a lot of people like couldn't make it today. So, would you be down for me to like play another one?
Totally.
Which one
You,
would you like me to play?
I think my favorite one out of every song I've made, and it's a completely different vibe, is Upside Down Rain Part 2.
Okay, let me go to the DMs here. Yeah, I gotta get back to that link. Part two. Yep. Cool. All right, let me just download that to the computer really quick.
All right.
And
It's still raining.
hang
Why
on,
is it still raining?
hang on. I'm gonna get this shit slick in the future. It is currently not slick the way that I do these
All
things.
right. Let me know and I'll mute myself
Okay, cool. I
when.
think yeah, if you can, you're gonna try to mute it on your side.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Okay,
mute myself. So it's just.
perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna play it right now. Wait, actually, do you want to give a little intro on this one real quick?
Uh, hmm, I don't. I don't know. This was I feel like this one I didn't really go in with a lot of idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just found a Looperman sample for a guitar and built the entire thing around it, and it turned out being my favorite one.
Nice.
Like a lot of my other songs, they have a lot more kind of like theme built around them. This one doesn't have as much. Besides the intro, the vocal is the Jack Sauber uh, sample from his Rain animation, and then I have a couple lyrics, but I'm kind of building it around that. But I don't know. I feel like this one didn't have as much real as deep a meaning as like the last one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be about having a deep meaning. It can be the favorite for any reason. Okay, I'm gonna play this. This is Upside Down Rain Part Two, and this is this is not out on like in the world, right?
No, it is not yet. I'm
Okay.
not releasing anything until I get vocals on them.
Perfect. Yeah. So for anyone who's like jumped in part way, just for a little bit of context, this is the kind of Night Shift community stream. So we're really specifically getting to know the band name, Gabe, who you've definitely interacted with. You're in the Discord, and we're getting to know some of his music. And this is the second one we're listening to. This is Upside Down Rain Part 2.
It's still raining. Why is it still raining? I did what I was supposed to. It's not fair.
I mean, beautiful. That's insane. Yeah, if you can, you can unmute yourself when you're ready. But like, I see why that thing is your favorite. It's,
Thank you.
I was really excited seeing people in the comments too. Yeah, talking about it. For anyone who's popped in partway through, that we're listening to work in progress from the band name right now. If you're in the Discord or engaged in the Night Shift community at all, you have definitely encountered him, and he makes incredible music on his own, right? And we're checking that. I cannot wait to hear final versions of these things. It's really insane. That's like really, really good. Like the emotion that creates is incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah. Though I wanted to so you mentioned that like you kind of built around like a sample from Luberman, the guitar thing. Yeah, I like that. It has like a really I see why like you gravitated to that thing. Did you do the drums like with sample stuff, or did you do any like live drum stuff, or like what's like
Uh,
the drum sounds really
I
striking. That's why I asked.
I got just a free, like most of my drum samples are just free drum packs that I found online.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just it was a Music Radar vinyl drum, one of their vinyl drum kits.
Cool. Yeah, it's
Unfortunately, I couldn't play drums despite having tried.
yeah. I mean, that's a whole people's brains have to be wired a certain way to play drums. Like
Yeah,
the limb independent, what do they call it, limb independence or whatever aspect of it is really crazy to get into. But you know, there's a lot to be said. Like I typically do everything with samples at this point anyway. I haven't done like a lot of live drum stuff since like the Hollow and Akimbo records, but the the thing that's really nice about working with samples I find is you can try out so many things so quickly, and you're like
yeah,
just focus on the effect it's having kind of rather than like the mechanics of creating the sound sometimes.
yeah.
Man, that thing's
That drum was. Go
that's
ahead.
like that track is haunting. Like I feel like that like that feeling already kind of sits in the back of my brain like as something that will like
Yeah,
live through the day now.
yeah. It's when I heard that the sample what is it again? Still raining. Why is it still raining? I do what I was supposed to. I almost cried the first time I watched that video. It's got a little animation with this guy. He goes under. He's standing outside in the rain, and then he walks under like a canopy, but there's rain still pouring through the canopy.
Yeah.
And he says that it's just such a. I don't know. It's one of those things that like everyone thinks about, and I just never seen it put in that way, like that specific example before,
Yeah.
and it was just moving. I
Yeah.
have to find something else that really encapsulates that because I put that in kind of because one, I thought it sounded awesome, and two, it kind of sets the stage for the rest of the song. But it is Jack Stabber's, so I'm not going to be able to use it. But I'll come up with something.
I wouldn't be surprised though if you. I mean, he's such a like internet minded person. I wouldn't be surprised if you could reach out to him and at least show him. If you're gonna change it anyway, there's no harm in showing him and being like, "Would you be down, you know, with this?" Like I'm, you know, obviously you're doing it
Yeah,
with the utmost respect for the original piece. He might just be down. It's worth trying.
all right. Yeah, I'll see if I can find an email. I think I DM'd him once on Instagram, and then I made a TikTok about that song, and I was like, everyone tag Jack Stabber in the comments.
Yeah.
Of course, it got like 3 views. But yeah, if I find an email, I'll definitely reach out
Yeah.
to him. I feel
Yeah.
like that'd be the best way
I feel like
to reach him.
you if you do have to change it, I think you can keep the feeling though. Like I'm thinking
Yeah,
about it, and like I think you can have your cake and eat it too if he doesn't. I mean, hey, I'm rooting for you. I hope that you've managed to connect with him and get it cleared because that would
yeah,
that would be really cool. And I like that interconnectivity between artists stuff too. I think that's like
yeah,
something that should be more cultivated in the world. You know?
yeah. Jack Stabber's a awesome guy, from what
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah, it's cool when someone's creativity is so like multi-dimensional like that and kind of intertwined.
Yeah,
Like that's just like
he's definitely impressive.
yeah. And there's also so many choices he makes that are clearly like, you know, we kind of mentioned the operating intuitively thing when we were talking about music theory too, and I feel like there's so much intuition to what he does. It's all intuition.
Yeah,
You know, it's like you could
it
not think
really
of
is.
it otherwise.
Yeah, I couldn't. He makes it's amazing, but it's crazy. I've never like heard stuff like what he makes or seen any like animations like what he makes.
Mm-hmm.
They're just so random, but like so art creative and talented at the same time.
Yeah, really is like exemplifies that kind of being off in his own world thing for sure. Are you gonna
Yeah,
do? Are you? I know you mentioned like kind of doing like some mid journey like stuff that you were writing to and everything, are you gonna go deeper in like the visual side? Or are you gonna work with people on the visual side, or what is your thought there?
Um, I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about like animations, you mean?
Just whatever visual form and context you want to put around your music. You know?
I don't know. I mean, started just I've been a little bit into film and like cinematography,
Yeah.
although I'm not good at it at all. But like I've talked to some friends I have about just like music video ideas for these,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's, just for us to watch and enjoy. So I look forward to that definitely. But I think I will have less as far as visuals goes. I don't know. I'm not the most visually creative ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, uh, I definitely couldn't like make any art without Midjourney.
Yeah.
And the art I do make with Midjourney inspires my music, but I don't think I could ever like of my own creativity be able to make something like that or be able to make any sort of visual art. And I mean, I probably could with like practice, but it's just never been. I've tried a lot of different art forms before.
Mm-hmm.
Music is just the one that like really resonated with me, and I just kind of picked it up the fastest. And so that's probably what I'm gonna stick with mainly.
Yeah. I mean, it's a yeah. I've been like very interested in like every form of creativity my whole life, and like it's kind of obviously like music has been my main thing too, and I can really relate to that. If it's like there's a you got to have a home base, kind of, I guess. But I will say one one thing I didn't expect was recently discovering that I really like just writing without music, just like writing like the short stories and stuff. Like that's been really
Yeah.
like a discovery for me kind of late, of being like, wow, I wish I was like doing more of this earlier, because I really enjoy it. And I don't like I bought like a nice camera this year, and I haven't used it that much, but I do find like I do think like photography and camera stuff is like it's a very accessible entry point in a way,
Yeah.
because like one thing that's happened really since like night shift kind of started up is like I just am observing the world around me a lot more. um
Yeah.
I end up like taking a lot more photos and things, and I do think like I don't know, it's funny, it's like I do have this belief where it's like it all this creativity comes from the same place, like whether it's visual
Yeah.
or audio, and it's sometimes it does just come down to like what skills you've cultivated, I think, and not even what skills, or what confidence you've cultivated. Like, my confidence is in music. It's lower, but not non-existent with like video stuff. And when it comes to me like putting like a pen in my hand and like drawing something, zero confidence, absolutely no confidence. It will be trash. Like that's how I feel. But yeah, I would just encourage you to like whatever form, be it the mid journey stuff or like whatever, like just keep playing with that stuff and keep matching stuff up with your music, because I do think like you'll be surprised where something will sneak up on you where you're like, oh, this one technique that I use, like maybe you don't need to be good at the whole visual world. There's just one thing that really connects to your music or something. It could be video editing
Yeah.
too, like remixing video stuff into your music. Like I feel like um oh, I'm blanking on the guy's name. I'll have to think of it later. But there's a dude that like just a lot of like even like the audio samples in his music and stuff. I'm just like, this is the lack of caffeine talking, but a lot of the audio samples in his music are oh, it's Fred again. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of the name, Fred again. And how he like a lot of the sounds in his music are like from little video clips, and then he'll use the video clip as well. Like, which is a really
Yeah.
nice technique. I feel like that connects to some of the stuff that you're doing.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I'm always looking for just any sort of sample to put into my music,
Yeah.
especially samples from videos,
Mm-hmm.
mainly at the beginning.
Cool. Is this
I don't remember it.
is this music going to come out as like an album? Do you think?
It is. It should. the songs, all the ones that are in the folder I sent you,
Mhm.
those should all be in an album. I'm probably gonna like I'm have a major procrastinating problem, so what I'm probably gonna do is just release literally all of them as singles as soon as they're done, because otherwise I feel like I'm never gonna release them,
That's what I
and
did.
then I'll just shove them all in the album.
That's exactly what I had to do for the same reason. I like back in my first band days, Mason Proper. Like
Hmm.
it's really hard to finish a whole album at once. It really is difficult.
Yeah.
And when you do it, I think like some things do end up worse for it in a way, because you kind of go like, oh well, like this song I guess is a low point, or it's like or like this is a focus, this isn't as much of a focus or something. And I don't like to work like that. I like to be like, no, if I'm gonna make this thing, let's make everything perfect. But that's, yeah, I don't know. I'm right there with you. I
Oh,
think it's
yeah.
like also very compatible with how the internet receives things.
Yeah. Uh, I tried making an album at one point, like last year, and I had all the songs ready. I was working on them daily, and I just couldn't stay. I had like 9 songs. I couldn't just stay on the same 9 songs. I want to just go make something else.
Yeah.
I think it's just easier if I can just work on something and it just be one project and it doesn't take as much time, so I have the freedom to be able to go work on other stuff
Mhm.
without feeling like, oh, I have to work on these few things until I finish all of them and then move on.
Yeah. That's big. I've been like learning a lot about just like the processes people use in like video game development lately, and
Hmm.
one of the most powerful kind of unlocks that comes from that world is kind of like assuming your first idea isn't going to be your best idea, and so therefore it doesn't have to be perfect, kind of. And
Yeah.
it's more about iteration, and like I think there's multiple forms of that. It's like within a single song you can be iterating versions really fast, but then also just releasing
Yeah.
that thing and going like it's going to be the fourth one that's the best. And if I spend forever on each one, I'm not going to get to that fourth one. Or if I keep throwing things
Yeah.
away, and there's an energy to releasing something too, that feeds back in. It's like, oh, like this, now that I've heard it in the world, this sounds different to me. I want to change something about the way I do it next time. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know. I think like, yeah, I think you got the right strategy, the right plan with this stuff. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, for anyone that popped in partway through, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. And we've been talking to Gabe, the band name. This is kind of the first of the community streams where, in this one, I thought maybe we talked to a few people. We talked to Gabe the whole time. This is great, and maybe that's the form that these take. But every Wednesday, I'm going to be doing basically a stream where we highlight the work of someone inside the night shift community, and I don't think we could have a better entry point than today with Gabe sharing his music. And is there anything that you want people like? How can people like follow you and like kind of keep up on what you're doing, independent of like obviously being tapped into the night shift world?
Well, I have uh all my social medias. I can. Is it all right if I put
Yeah,
my link tree in the
yeah.
Discord or in
Please,
the?
please do.
I'll put it in YouTube. I'm trying to remember how they do this. Please, let me make sure this is the right link. Yeah, that's the link. That's my link tree. So that goes to like my TikTok, Instagram, and Spotify and YouTube, I think.
Cool. Great, yeah. So anyone that was hearing this stuff today, follow Gabe's stuff on the link tree, and we'll be hearing more from him. And yeah, I'll just say it too. Like I'd love to do some stuff within night shift with you as well, and have that be a thing. We've mentioned that before. So I know a few people are working on things like that. Caitlin as well, who I want to bring on. I think she's not coming on this week, but maybe next week, maybe week after. I don't know. Um, Also working on some really cool shit for inside the night shift world. So yeah, Gabe, thank you so much, man. That's like really a pleasure to be able to share this stuff with
Thank
you.
you so much,
And
too.
I love hearing you talk
You
about it.
are. Yeah, thank you. You're such an inspiration to my music. I'm sure you're an inspiration to like everyone in the Discord server. And I know I speak for all of us when I say like you putting on stuff like this. We absolutely love it. Like you're doing a phenomenal job spearheading Night Shift, and we're all super hyped and excited for what's coming.
You're gonna make me cry, man. Come on. Thank you for that. Like that's really, really nice. And I've been, I have like a lot of I don't. It's not like a stage fright thing, but like showing up on the internet, like for real, like fear. And it
Yeah,
took me a second to kind of like go like, okay, like every week I'd be like, I need to be doing this week. Oh, I don't have it in me. I need to be doing it this week. I don't have it in me. And I think I got over that hurdle, and it was a big deal for me to. From the beginning of this year, I've been wanting to do this, like where it's like, no, 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 this day. I don't know if it's going to be a set time yet, but at least this day, every week, we're doing this, and it's focused on what we just did today. And I'm really excited to be at this point because it's what it's all about to me. Like this is so like, put it in like the way people sometimes talk about this. And it's like it's very aligned with my values to be like the for some reason I don't know why, like all the people in the night shift community are super creative in their own ways and really talented, and that's what I'm interested in. So like let's like actually be a real community, and like if I can help introduce each other's work to each other, and like I get, it's inspiring to me. Like I heard some stuff today from you, in your music where I was like, damn, I wish I knew how you did that. And like your stuff just swims in this liquid space that is sometimes an effect I've tried and failed to get. So like I really it's already kind of it's inspiring to me as well. So
you.
yeah, thank you so much. And like I will say too, like the way you in particular have you jumped in from day one with kind of like into the unknown of the night shift thing and really like paid attention to the details that are a little bit more abstract and will take time for people to understand. That you personally gave me a lot of hope that I was like, okay, the dream in my head can be real, and like you personally did that a lot. So thank you for that.
Thank you. You're gonna make me cry too. Uh,
Okay, well,
yeah, I love it.
oh, go ahead.
I said I love this community.
Yeah, me too, man. It's gonna be better and better and better. We are literally just getting started. So, well, thank you so much again, and please come on again in the future soon. And let's like hear updates, and like we'll keep this going.
All right, we'll do. Thank you so much for your time.
Cool. All
Having
right.
me
Yeah.
on.
Thank you for sharing stuff too. All right. Talk to you soon. I'm gonna
All
end the
right.
call, and okay, just to jump in the chat for a second here, and also just if everyone can thank Gabe, the band name in the chat, for coming on. I think that was uh, a fantastic first community focused live stream, and if I know I've talked to some of you about it already, but please join the Discord. Um, and if you're not connected to the beacon, connect to the beacon. I will throw if someone I'll throw the link to the Discord in the chat right now. That's a good place to start if you're not a Discord person. However else, like it definitely make sure you're connected to the beacon. The beacon is going to be the way to make sure that you are really up on everything. But in the same way that we just featured Gabe's music and got to know him a little bit better, that's open to you as well. So I encourage, and I think we'll definitely be talking to Caitlin soon and among other people in the community. And I just can't wait. But if you haven't reached out, you can send me your work in DMs or share it. And there's a share your art section of the Discord. That's a good way to kind of get on the radar for this. But you can also do it in the moment in the future. So you know, I'll admit these systems are all a little bit janky, and I'm just kind of like improvising as we go right now. But yeah, what you just saw today, like we can we can do one around your work as well. And I would love to hear about your creativity. And it doesn't have to be music. It can be your photography, your digital art, your whatever form your creativity takes. We want to experience it and talk about it and hear what's behind it and get to know you guys. So this is kind of what it's all about. I'm going to grab this Discord link and throw it in the chat really quick. Let's see here. It always takes me a second to figure out how to do this. There we go. I'm going to throw that in, invite people, yes. I thought I had a permanent link. Well, this is going to be a temporary link. This works. Let's go back to... We got just very, very quick minor dead time while I remember how to use a computer. And okay, this is about to go into the chat. That is an up-to-date Discord link. I'm also going to throw the link to connect to the beacon in, which is going to be very, very important. Since we're kind of on the meta layer right now, for people to understand what that means, the connecting to the beacon is really like reserving your night shift name. That is going to become your character for all of the stuff to come. So there's a lot of there's things relating to more video game world, but also like just the whole thing is just you're gonna want your account. Like you're not really in it if you're not part of the thing. So like you gotta sign up for this thing. Let me find the beacon link. World. There it is. Okay, so definitely sign up for this, and you won't. Just so you know, you're not. It's not functional right now, so you're not gonna like get like a text back or WhatsApp back. I'm working on building that part, but within the next month, that stuff will be working. And yeah, in a nutshell, every full moon you'll need to resync to the beacon with just a little, just kind of confirming that you're still with it. So that's really like where it's headed. But yeah, thank you guys so much again. I'm kind of working out the systems for this, but if you're interested in kind of coming on and meeting people and sort of having your moment with the stream, and sharing your work and letting people get to know you more, just stay in close touch. And all you got to do is send me your work in advance, and we can have you on and share it. And thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you again to Gabe for sharing his music. And yeah, and I'm gonna check out this recommendation right now. Caitlin saying Sakurai's YouTube channel. I'm gonna check that out too. So thank you, and yeah, looking forward to doing it again next week on Wednesday. See you guys soon. Love y'all.